ولجميع المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات آمين رب العالمين. اللهم آمنا في أوطاننا، اللهم زدنا ولا تنقصنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم نسألك الجنة ونعوذ بك من النار. اللهم نسألك علما نافعا وعملا صالحا متقبلا ورزقا واسعا حلالا طيبا وشفاء من كل داء آمين رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brothers and sisters, I love all of you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of us and unite us into the highest abodes of Jannah as a community in the vicinity of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahaba. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. May Allah guide us to Islam, strengthen us in Islam, let us live in Islam, and let us end our life in Islam. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Today I want to talk to you about coming to terms with the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Coming to terms with the qada and qadar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a continuation of a thought that I had shared with you previously. And a quick recap of that was understanding the importance of understanding the concept of sabr. And I'm going to use the word sabr instead of saying patience, because patience is a loose translation, an incomplete translation at that, of the term or the concept of sabr. Because sabr, like I said, is not a negative, pessimistic, complacent attribute. Sabr is actually a positive, compelling, driving attitude, right? So it's very important to understand the concept of sabr and the danger of misunderstanding sabr, or not even knowing what sabr is. The danger is that it can lead a person to get fed up with their life. It can lead a person to complain against Allah instead of complaining to Allah. As Muslims, we complain to Allah, not against Allah. Inni ashku bathi wa huzni ila Allah. As we learned from Yaqub alayhi salam, that I complain, oh yes, I complain, but my complaint and my grief is to Allah. Right? So, misunderstanding sabr can lead a person to complain against Allah. Wal-'iyadu billah, we seek protection from Allah, instead of complaining to Allah. Some people, may Allah protect us, who misunderstand the concept of sabr, patience, determination, perseverance, they may even lead their obligations. Some, you see them, we may know them, maybe we have gone through these trials in our lives where we are going through a difficulty and we're like, man, where is Allah? Come on, what's happening? Why me, oh Allah? And because of that, sometimes we'll stop reading the Quran. Like, hey, there's no benefit. I don't see any benefit. We'll stop praying, okay? And this is a higher degree of deviation, may Allah protect us. And then there are those who, because of not coming to terms on understanding what sabr is, not coming to terms with the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they actually leave the deen. Right? Islam, come on man, that's not for me. I'm okay. I can do without. Right? We know people that are in these stages. And this is the danger of misunderstanding what sabr is. So I shared with you, there's a very famous verse I'll recite to you and I want you to complete it. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ, what's the rest of it? لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. This is a very famous verse in the Quran. But when you look at that verse closer, what we understand is that this verse is actually from the khutbah or the sermon of Musa alayhi salam. When did he give this sermon? Who did he give this sermon to? He gave this sermon to his people, the Bani Israel, the Israelites. When he gave it to them when they escaped the fist and the grip of Pharaoh. So they escaped the continuous tyranny of Pharaoh, an imminent death, but now they're at the mercy of the barren desert, which is a prolonged death. Right? And at that moment, where you are looking at a people, the Israelites, you are looking at a people who went through severe hardship, generation after generation after generation, who lived a life of humiliation, public humiliation, and also internal humiliation in their homes. They were slaves, utter slaves. They lived a life of slavery. Their children were murdered in front of them. Imagine. One thing is to know that a child is murdered. One thing is to have the child murdered in front of you. One thing is to have children murdered in front of you and you can't raise your voice or go to court or ask for your rights. That's a compounded grief and pain. No social political rights. And these people coming from here, from this pain and agony, at the mercy of the desert now, Musa a.s. is commanded by Allah to remind them بِأَيَّامِ by the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this begs the question, oh Allah, what favors do the Bani Israel have? What favors do the Israelites have? And then Allah says that Allah just freed you and made you a nation and took you out from the tyranny of Pharaoh. Now you have an identity as Bani Israel and not slaves.